Today we're working on those 6 marks questions. So my first question talks about like how enzymes work. In my case, it's basically case of plant leaves that have been attacked by insects. And those insects, they change the composition of the leaf for their benefit. So basically the saliva of the insect causes chemical reactions in the leaf, and that would cause the protein and the amino acid composition of the leaf to change. This is all meant for their offspring. So when the eggs of the insect hatch, they'll find food for them. So all the information I've mentioned were given in the question. So that's an important line here. The one with that here, the saliva contains enzymes that changes the nutrients you have in the leaf. They're calling these parts here. You see those parts where they're laying their eggs? They're calling them the galls. So that's the question here. Again, they said, explain the results of the investigation. Use information both in the graph and the table. Just like what I always tell you in these questions, start off with the description. 2 marks, description, very simple. You can get them all the way from the graphs. So again, what would be like the most obvious thing I can say about the first graph here, the one on the left? I would say that the proteins in these galls is greater than the proteins in the leaf, right? What could be the most obvious thing I can say about the other graph here? Same thing, right? See, the amino acids in the galls is greater than the amino acids in the leaf. As simple as that. So those are 2 easy marks. Even though not confident with the rest of the question, you can minimize damage and score 2 easy marks here. Another thing I can mention here is what I can talk about the composition of amino acids. Some amino acids are in great amount and some amino acids are lacking inside these galls. So those amino acids that are great amounts here, they've been basically transferred from the leaf into those galls. And the amino acids here, like the ones that are missing, they're being basically used by the insects to build protein. So being used for protein synthesis, right? Let's start with the description as always. What am I saying here? I'm saying there is high concentration of amino acids and proteins. I combine those 2 points into one. The galls show high levels of, I'm going to refer now to the amino acid composition. I just took these from the table. Why these amino acids? What would you answer? You tell them, well, these amino acids like building blocks to make proteins. So apparently the insect takes these amino acids, use them for the making of, do you know those amino acids? There were some amino acids missing. So those amino acids, I'm just going to list them. And I tell them those are not found or not abundant. Reason because the insect has probably used them. Finally, I'll write some explanation. These are like the challenging points. Those will make a difference between a student who scored 4 out of 6 and scored like 6 out of 6. Right? The first 4 marks should be easy, should be secured for anyone. So what am I saying here? I say the galls show high concentration of proteins. Due to what? I'm going back to the line they said here. There's always like this hidden line tells you all what it takes. It says they got enzymes and cause change in the nutrients inside the leaf. So again, like your saliva, what does your saliva contain? This enzyme breaks down starch. Here in my case, there is some enzyme that causes the amino acids to be turned into proteins or the other way around. So I'm referring here either to hydrolysis or condensation, protein synthesis or breaking down of proteins. The purpose here is that the insect wants to proteins for its offspring, for its young. Conversely, the leaf tissue hosting the galls lack significant level of amino acids because those have been transferred for the sake of making structures, proteins for their young.